Heyo, what's up? Sorry that took me a while. I got stuck talking to people downstairs. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Welcome to class. I didn't plan this. I sat down, I literally started Nightreign up. I turned on my controller. I set all that up, and then I said, you know what? Actually, what if we did something else? Hold on, I don't want to tab through. There we go. So I said, actually, what if we did something else? What if I just talked about AoS? Because I've been wanting to do this for a bit. I did a 40k thing. I didn't really, I mean, yeah. And I went through the factions after 40k, and I think actually it's more interesting. Oh, yeah, music. Hold on. Why didn't the music turn on? Man, the music system I have here just breaks constantly. Where the hell is the music? Music on. I have to go through to my stream deck, and I have to reorganize the whole thing a bit. Anyway, good morning. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I started up Nightreign, and I was like, actually, there's some things I want to talk about. I want to talk about like the history of stuff and what's going on. And yes, you can just see my whole desktop. I know, hella dangerous, but I'm going for it. Anyway, and I. What the fuck? 1 second. Bilbo, what are you doing? I don't know how he does it. He'll be in his litter box. I don't know if he just like shits so thunderously that like causes a problem, but he'll be in his litter box, you know, using it, and then there will be a crashing sound, and I'll go and I'll like look around the corner, and he will have knocked the entire like plastic ring that sits around it that keeps all the litter in just completely off, and it's like laying on him, and it's like, what the fuck did you do? Why is this falling over? You know? Wanted to fix it for him before I forgot. Okay. So here's the plan. This is a very bright screen. This is a very bright screen, and I apologize for it. I brought this up so that I could use this to illustrate my points. We'll see how much I actually use it, but let's start with the very basics. Yeah, hold on. This music is distracting me. It's good, but it's too much. It's too much for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so the basics. What is AoS? Well, okay. Welcome to class. This is so silly. This is age. This is of, which is why it's not capitalized, which you can't tell because I'm writing with my fucking mouse. And this is Sigmar. Now you may say, whomst the fuck is Sigmar? Is Sigmar? What is Sigmar? When is Sigmar? Sigmar. Scott of Thunder. This is him. This is Sigmar right here. This is Sigmar right here. He's got big muscles. And flowing locks of hair. Wait, I gotta connect his arms to his chest. Hold on. This is very important to the lesson. You gotta have a visual for Sigmar, you know? Alright. This is Sigmar. It's his age. It's a guy. He's a god of thunder, for the humans. But also their main only god, essentially. I mean, there are other gods around, but that's the one that they worship. Anyway. So, to explain the actual history, we have to start with the meta history. So, in 1980, whatever the heck, James Workshop created a game called Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Okay. Warhammer Fantasy Battle was a collection of miniatures that were like Warhammer miniatures that they decided, hey, maybe we can turn this into a game. And there wasn't really like a lore that held it all together at first. It was just kind of a collection of random miniatures. And they were like, you know what? Because they were just a miniature making company. And they're like, you know what if we turn this into, like, we have a game for this. They can make a game for it. And it exists. And they're like, what if we made an actual world that Warhammer Fantasy Battle was based in, right? And so they did that. They made lore for it. And so here's my little lore. No. Paint. So good. Here's my little lore circle. It's got a circle, it's lore. Anyway, so Warhammer Fantasy Battle exists. And eventually, and this exists for a long time, eventually this splits off into, I'm going to give it a circle, into 40k as its own thing, and it really splits off. They make a separate game, that's the 40k we know, and then down here, it's after around like 20, whoa, I want to say 2015, it's like 2015 or 2013, I think it's 2015, they decide, you know what, Warhammer Fantasy Battle was clearly cobbled together through years of just like, oh, we have wizard with submachine gun. What does that mean? Like, they just tried to like cobble together all their weird models, and into an existing lore, which is good. It's fine. I mean, that's how 40k exists too. But they wanted to reset. They wanted to reset the game because at the time, Warhammer Fantasy Battle is what's called a rank and flank game, which is all the characters have square bases. And if you ever play 40k, you'll know that the models have circular bases. But in Fantasy Battle, the models have square bases. And the difference, and it actually really changes how the game plays. The difference between the two is the square bases can stand next to each other in perfect rank and file, like old school, like fighting techniques, you know, or the British would like line up or whatever. In fact, this is a great example. In the Revolutionary War, right? Everyone knows, who's American. Every American knows that the Brits fought like this at the beginning, where they lined up in rank and file and shot guns at each other. And the Americans said, we're never going to win like that. We don't have enough people. So they fought like this. See these little circle bases? These characters can't really stand next to each other in the same way. They can kind of group, but really it's meant for like a more skirmishy kind of combat where you go in, come out. And so that's the difference. That's the distinction between the square and the circle, is like how the combat is fought, essentially. In 2015, I got distracted. In 2015, they say, you know what? Square bases are out. Circle bases are in. That looks like a boob. Or an avocado, actually. Square bases are out. Square bases are out. Circle bases are in. And they say, let's turn fantasy into circle-based game with a new set of rules, brand new set of rules, fresh. And they start to do that, and they go, you know what? Actually, we don't like the lore that we're dealing with here. We don't like the world. We want to reset. So what they do is they make Age of Sigmar. And Age of Sigmar is a brand new game, or not brand new in 2015. That was entirely brand new lore, brand new rules. Like everything was brand new. Basically a reboot of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. The world is different. The same characters are there for the most part. There's a lot of characters that cross over, like Teclis and Morathi and Sigmar, obviously, and some Nagash, things like that. All of these dudes existed in a lot of the named characters. Almost every named character in Age of Sigmar, although they are getting some of their own, existed at some point in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Now, this happens in a meta sense. They just say, hey, we're going to make a new game. And they do. Make a new game and they release it. Now, question is, are these actually related? And the answer, if they have the same characters, right? Are they related? The answer is yes. So, lore-wise, I'm going to do this over in this corner. We have, I don't remember what they call it, like the world that was, or the old, I'm just going to say the old world. This is the old world. It is the planet that Warhammer Fantasy Battle takes place on. Hold on. Boop. Little arrow. And it is the world where you have games like hold on one sec. So you have like Vermintide or Total War, Warhammer. All of those take place in the old world over here. Video game wise, if you know video games, that's where those are. This is like the original Fantasy Battle world, essentially. The one that looks like Earth. Hold on. I'll pull up a map real fast. So if you look at the okay, let's take a look at the Warhammer Fantasy Battle map. Check out this Reddit post. 8K version, right? You'll notice, if you look at it from a distance, this looks weirdly familiar, right? You got jungles down here, a big old mountain range. You've got, other stuff going on here. You've got this island, obviously, it's nothing, but then you have, like, over here, Albion, Bretonia, the Empire, right? And the Empire is in Old World looks like Holy Roman Empire stuff, which is right where that is. You have Bretonia, which has all the French folks. You got like the Bretonian Knights. You got Albion, which isn't. I don't think it's inhabitable. I forgot, but there's nobody here apparently. But it's Europe, it's Britain, quote unquote. Norska up here with like the Norway and stuff. You've got Africa. You got South America. Like it's literally just Earth. They were like, oh, here's the Fantasy Battle map. And so that's what's happening there. And so with Sigmar, they said no, new map, new lore, new things. So we're gonna talk about that. They don't feel like Sigmar gets enough love. I feel like it's largely ignored. Even though it is an excellent game, and even just on a gameplay standpoint, I was talking about this yesterday with some of my friends. I have this theory, or I had a thesis that Sigmar is like, you have 40k game. We're just talking about meta sense here in the game wise. This is like just gonna write BS, but that's not what I mean. 40K is meant to be like a battle simulator that's played on tabletop, and Age of Sigmar feels like a tabletop game that simulates, or that simulates a tabletop game that has battles. Even though the rules are very, very similar, there's just enough consolidation in Sigmar that it feels much smoother and nicer to play. To me specifically. Anyway, that's all the meta stuff. We're getting rid of that. Hold on. I forgot. We were on lore. I'm getting so distracted thinking about. I got so many words to say. So we got the old world over here, and that has Total War, Warhammer, Vermintide. And that's not right. This exists. This is where I was at. So this exists in the lore sense. And then one day the Skaven say, "Fuck you guys." Skaven. And that's part of what Vermintide is about. Skaven plus chaos. So, like, Skaven are chaos, but it's like, at the time, it's just Skaven and chaos. Sort of fucking around chaos. Basically, the bad guy in all Warhammer stuff is always chaos, which is chaos demons, and it's the same chaos demons. So it's the same chaos gods. Like, you have Nurgle and Slanesh and Khorne and Tzeentch. Like, it's the same exact thing. For Old World, Age of Sigmar, 40K, whatever, all 4 of the chaos gods still exist. And Chaos's goal is always to destroy whatever world has been created. So Warhammer Fantasy Battle happens. Sorry, Old World happens. Skaven and Chaos, they eventually win. Right? They win, and they blow up the planet. Just completely destroy the planet that was there. Boom. And then Sigmar flies. He survives. He actually leaves really early. He abandons the planet pretty early. Hello, music. You're quite loud. He abandons the old world pretty early, and starts flying around in space, on a comet. And the Skaven and Chaos win. Kerblamo. The world explodes. Sigmar sees this, and he decides to jump off his comet, and he hops onto the remains of the planet, basically. The hunk of rock that's left behind, and with no life on it. And he takes it through space, and eventually he meets up with a magic space dragon or something. I'm a little vague on this. He meets up with some sort of magic space dragon, and the magic space dragon either says, "Hey, I found a place for you," or says, "Let's create a place for you." That is also vague to me. I'm gonna have to look that up. But anyway, then they create or find what is known as the Mortal Realms. And the Mortal Realms, we're gonna have to get a new tab for this shit. The Mortal Realms are basically flat Earth made real. I know, it sounds fucking weird. So the Mortal Realms are like, I think it's 8. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 discs, floating discs. So let's draw one. I'll show you what it looks like. So, and these are just floating in space, basically. So you have the flat plane. Actually, let's get out. If you're looking at it directly from the side, this is what the mortal realm would look like. Here we go. So you're looking in space. Actually, you know what? We're gonna theme this. We're gonna make this look better. It's in space, or the equivalent to space. I think it's called like the ether or something. Then you have your mortal realm. It's a flat disc. This is from the side, and from the top, it would look like this, basically, right? Here, I'm gonna move this up more. Hello? I forget that it moves the background too. Get this back. Anyway, so you're looking at a disc from the top and a flat plane from the side. Around that disc and on top of that flat plane is a sphere of air. A little ball of air. This is hard to visualize from the top, but from the side, it's like this. Okay, this is breathable atmosphere. All right, you with me still? All right. So you have your Mortal Realm disc and breathable, and this is what they stumble across, or sort of, kind of create. I forget which. Anyway, Sigmar and the dragon. Sigmar and his never-ending story dragon get to this, and they find this whole setup, and there's 8 of these, and they're all they're all in orbit around each other. So if I can I just have a new tab? No. So remember this. You get a disc, and this is like, for example, over here you'd have like a little person on it or something, you know? Obviously this is not to scale, but this is how, and then if we put that same person there, you know, that's how it is. Now, each disc is made up of a primal element, essentially, and it's not elements exactly how you think of them. Some of them are, like, there is a fire disc, there is a life disc, you know, that kind of thing. But there is also, like, a disc of metal, you know, so it's not all just... It's based off of the winds of magic from the original Old World stuff. So again, the Old World stuff is still important and still comes into play. But anyway, so you have the disc, and so they're each elementally specific, and they're basically made of magic. And right here in the center of each disc, or I forget a different color. Right here in the center of each disc is like the safest point, basically, because it is a disc made of magic that is, I mean, it is still an environment. There's still like mountains and trees and forests and whatever, but because its essence is magic, the center is the safest place to be, and as you travel out towards the edges, it becomes more and more unstable, and when you get to the edge, like, terrible things happen. So, for example, let's say this is Chamon or Kamon, I don't know how it's actually said, the realm of metal. Here, normal, everything's fine, you know? It's a normal day in Kamon, and then as you travel over the months or years, and they're very large discs, by the way, like Earth could fit in each one several times. When you finally get to near the edge, things could happen, like you could just burst into a pile of coins, you know, like you're just walking along and suddenly you're a pile of coins on the ground. Like, that kind of stuff can happen when you get close to the edge, and that's a whole thing. Each realm has a realm stone, a little rock that is like basically the essence of that realm, and each realm stone gets used differently, and some of them are physically differently, like the realm stone for Shaiish, which is the realm of the dead, the realm of death. The realm stone for that is, why is this locked? The realm stone for that is a thing called grave sand, which, wait, it's not locked? What the fuck's going on? Let me move this. There we go. It's a thing called grave sand, which is essentially like their realm stone is sand. And I guess sand is a stone. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted. I keep seeing things and then my brain just goes, I'm going to talk about this and not actually know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going, whoops. I opened a new tab in the browser. All right. So there are 8 realms. Let's pull up a little circle tool. I'll write their names in a second. And they all circle each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not to scale. Hold on, let me just give this guy a little more room. There we go. There's 8 realms. In no particular order. We have Azir. This is the realm of the heavens. We have Guren, which is the realm of life. Let's see. We got Gur, which is not Guren, and this is the realm. Oh wait, I'm not gonna write the word realm. Hold on. There we go. I should write beasts or whatever. And then we have Chamon. You decide how you want to pronounce that. It is metal. Let's see. And then a classic. Actually, for some reason, this one is the favorite for GW. Everything takes place in Actually all the fucking time. It's like the deserty area, I guess, and that's interesting to them. Although Shaiish has a desert too, but it's not a hot desert. It's just a fucking dead desert. Olgu, the realm of shadow, and Hish, the realm of light. Some weird mechanics for you, because these are all disks. You'll notice that they're not orbiting. I never mentioned a sun. There's a reason for that. There is no sun. The realm of Hish actually is the main sun for everyone. It produces so much light that when it rotates around, everyone else sort of gets this like day and night cycle in all of their realms. Same thing with shadow. When instead of a moon or a shadow thing, like Olgu comes around and swaps places, you know. Each realm does have like little moons and stuff going around them. So there are moons, but it depends on the realm. Like Olgu has, I think, like 4 moons, but Shaiish has like one that's like shaped like a skull. Like it's random based on the realm, and it's just sort of like a little hanger on essentially. What is this music? No, thank you. Anyway, so yeah, that's actually, and there's a sub-realm. I forgot about this. There's actually a couple sub-realms. We'll put them. We'll mark them just so you're aware of them. They're not going to be on the test or anything. This is called the 8 points, and what this is a basically a single point from which all the realms you can connect to it. So let me explain how do you get from one realm to another? Because people do travel between these realms, even though they're floating in space. For most people, they'll use what's called a realm gate. Now, some things are different. Skaven have different mechanics for this. The Seraphon do something different for this. But like for the most part, if you're in this, you're going to be using the realm gates. And realm gates are basically, if you've ever seen Stargate, it is like a big Stargate, like a big portal that you walk through and show up on the other side of another realm. Now, not all realm gates are the same, and the realm gates can look different from one side to the other. I just read a book recently where a lady, in order to activate a realm gate, it looked like a big gate on the Olgu side, like she was on Olgu, and then she activated it, and it was just a big gate she walked through. And as soon as she got through it, she ended up in Akshi, right? So she traveled this way, and when she got here and turned around, the realm gate was just a pillar of fire. Like you could still like walk through it and turn it and go back to Olgu, but from outside you could barely tell it was a realm gate. Not all realm gates look like big fancy gates. Sometimes they are weird things like, oh, there's this rock on this one small island in the middle of a lake, and if you go to this rock on this one small island in the middle of a lake and you put blood in a cup that's permanently welded into the rock, you can travel between Ghyran and Olgu or something, you know, like that kind of thing. So the realm gates vary in size and shape and complexity. They are all different, but they all allow travel between the things. The 8 points is the central location for all realm gates. There is 8 realm gates here that are big obvious gates. That are it's like the main hub, like the train station, to be able to get everywhere. If you can't find a realm gate from, it's like let's say you're in Ghyran, right, and you want to get to Chamon. I'm gonna say CH. Actually, hold on. How to pronounce? I mean, if it's French, it's Chamon. I'll look it up. Chamon. Yeah, okay, it's Chamon. So if you want to go from, like, let's say Ghyran to Chamon, right? And you have to find a realm gate specifically that goes from Ghyran to Chamon. You can find a realm gate, like you wander along and you find a tree with a hole in it, and if you walk through the hole, you end up in Azir. Well, great, now you're in Azir, but you're not in Chamon where you wanted to be, because the realm gates only go one place. They're not like, you can't like tune the realm gate to, oh, change this one to go to Chamon. That one is just going to go to Azir. And then if you wanted to, you could in theory then find a realm gate in Azir that could go to Chamon that's maybe easier to reach or whatever. But generally you just want to find a direct route. And that's really annoying. So the 8 points is a place where the realm gates all go. There's always a realm gate that goes here. And you know for a fact where this one is, because it's always a big obvious, or it's like an obvious evil kind of one. and you can get here, and then from the 8 points, you just go over to the Shaman one. Now, that's how it was in the beginning. We're not getting into history yet, but as of the current timeline, the 8 points is owned by not by Azir, which is the Sigmar and the humans. Actually, I'm just gonna draw the arrows. It's not currently owned by the good people. It's currently owned by Chaos. Chaos took it over, and so they can basically get to any realm whenever they want, which they can already kind of do with summoning and coming in through the realm of demons. But sorry, the realm of chaos, excuse me, because the warp doesn't really exist in the same way here. But this is owned by a very important chaos champion, and he sends his armies through here all the time. And if you'll notice, if you know anything about Warhammer at all, I've drawn a very, very poor 8-pointed star here, because the 8-pointed star of chaos, which is hilarious to me, that at any point the dudes have been fighting chaos, like especially Sigmar, who's been fighting chaos since the old world at least. And there's this place called the 8 points, and if you draw it on a map and show where they're going, it makes an 8-pointed chaos star. It's like, oh, this is a chaos thing. This is going to be a chaos thing, and sure enough, it is now. Anyway, there's a couple of other weird things out in the world. Like there's this thing called the Bad Moon. We'll get to that. He's an angry little guy. Looks like a little Pac-Man. But he's not connected to any particular object. There's other celestial objects out there that aren't the discs or their own moons. But that's neither here nor there. So, where were we in the history? Sigmar and Dragon, whose name I've forgotten, stumble across the mortal realms, or they create them. Once again, we don't know. At this point, everything is wild. There's stuff everywhere, and I think there's even people that have started to exist. Like, basically, things have been populated. Somehow. Magic. Who knows? Sigmar shows up, and he starts conquering the lands, essentially. Because chaos isn't here yet, essentially. This is like pre-chaos. You got a verdant, fresh area. And so he starts going around. He chooses Azir for himself, like Azir as a realm. He says, this is my realm, the realm of heavens. I'm the god of storms, the god of thunder, the god of lightning. I'm going to choose Azir as my place. And he basically finds in the twisting ether of the world, of the old world that was, he finds the souls of very powerful people. So, like, he finds the soul of Nagash, who was one of his enemies in the old world, essentially, and says, hey, Nagash, you've ascended to godhood because of how this whole thing has worked. You're a necromancer. You've become the god of death. Will you become one of the gods of death here in the mortal realms and help me fight against chaos? And Nagash says, yeah, sure. And then Sigmar finds, Ariel, the goddess of life or whatever, says, hey, will you help me, will you help me? And like the elven god Cain, and like basically he gathers a group of gods, including the orc god Gork and Mork, and said the orc gods, Gork and Mork, and he says, hey, we're gonna be a big happy family because we're gonna fight chaos. Last time chaos destroyed our world. I know, and for some reason he's the only one that remembers the old world that was. Everyone kind of vaguely has memories of it, but not really. To them, this is a fresh existence. They're just told about what happened before, and they say, okay, let's work together, and they do for a little bit. And while they do that, while that's happening, Sigmar takes his people and he spreads them out across the. I should have kept. There you go. And he takes his people, all the humans, and he spreads them out across the mortal realms. Literally gets human stink on every single place humans settle, including. We'll get to that in a second. Including over here. Shaiish, which is the realm of the dead. And I don't mean that lightly. If you die in Gyron, your soul will fly through space to Shaiish, where it will rest in an afterlife created by your beliefs. So if you believe in heaven, let's use modern understandings of Christianity, right? If you believe in heaven as it's told, and you believe you are a good person, you will end up in a realm, a sub-realm in Shaiish that resembles exactly what you imagined heaven to look like, and all your culture does. If you believe in a hell and you believe you were bad and deserved it, then when you die, you will end up in the hell that you believe you deserved. You know, like, it's basically whatever you believe. There's a realm in Shyish that is that, and all of those gods that you believe in or whatever, they exist there. Now, their power is probably significantly diminished from what you believed, but they exist there, and they watch over their realms of death, all the gods of death and things like that. And so Shyish is a bit scattered, but Nagash says, I'm gonna take Shyish for myself. But it's the realm of the dead. It's a place where people, you know, I'm losing my brain. It's a place where people go when they die. Like, it's full of spirits. And what's his name? Sigmar says, yo, new land, free real estate. And he settles living people in the realm of the dead, basically, because it's like it's like every other realm here. He can just settle people there. And so there's this weird thing happening where, like, at some point, like, there's whole kingdoms where the dead are still living. Like, let's say you have the kingdom of Schmargle over here in Gyron, right? And actually, that's a bad example. Let's say you start the kingdom of Schmargle over here in Shyish, and King Philip rules for 50 years, and then he dies, and then his son King Philip II takes over. But King Philip died. Where does he go? He goes to Shyish. He's still here. He's now just wandering around his kingdom, giving advice to his, like, younger, you know, king or whatever. Like, he still exists as a spirit that can be talked to and literally interacted with in some cases, and so on. Or, like, Farmer Joe, his great-grandfather, Farmer Bill, is still on the farm, harassing him because he can't really do much. Or maybe he can, because it is the realm of death. They're not, like, all ghosty, you know? Although sometimes they are. It really depends on how they believe they were going to be. And so there's this weird thing happening. And again, when people believe, it's generally what happens as well. Whoops. So, like, in Shyish, I know there's one realm where people believe that the dead become birds, right? Like, when you die, you just become a bird in the land, because they're already in the realm of the dead. Obviously, they don't go anywhere. And the main character in that book is wandering around and going, damn, there are a lot of birds here. Why are there so many birds in this realm? And they're like, oh, when you die, you become a bird. And he's like, oh, that's crazy. That explains all the birds. Like, you know? So, it's interesting. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So Shyish is an interesting place. It's my favorite of the realms, and that's no surprise because my favorite, my army is the Night Haunt, which are the ghosts. We'll get to that. I'll get through the factions eventually, but first we're talking about history. So when we talked about earlier, before people started to settle, I believe that's called the Age of Mythology. Let me double check that real fast. I have the core rulebook right here, and I actually have it set to the history page because I was reading that, but I kind of knew it already. I was just sort of rereading it to refresh. So, we have, the Age of Myth. Okay, yeah. So this is all during the Age of Myth. The Age of Myth is a wonderful time. Everyone is happy. It's when gods came through on the realms and basically said, hey, bam, this is my realm or whatever. This is what's going on. Like, Akshi and things like that. Like, it's this founding of the whole setting, essentially. And there's these, like, other wild gods and things that are, like, destroyed and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on. The Age of Myth, and the Age of Myth lasts a while. Like, and it's good. It's prosperous. Everyone is having a great time during the Age of Myth. They're all like, yay, we all settled and everything's good. We've spread out. And then we have the next age when chaos starts to seep through. Whoops. Chaos starts to show up because it always does. Shows up in random places. Like, one guy, he's suddenly talking about the grandfather, and, like, he's a little bit sick. Like, things just sort of start to happen. And then, oh shit, more chaos. Oh fuck, oh god, oh shit. And it gets real bad. It gets so bad because they're not prepared. These people are having a good time, and they are not prepared for war. And also, all of the gods are friendly. They're friendly with each other. Even, like, the orcs and the humans and the, like, everything's happening fine. Oh, at some point, Gork and Mork eat each other and become Gorka Morka, or is it the other way? I don't remember if Gorka Morka split and become Gork and Mork, or if Gorka Morka refuses to become Gorka Morka. I have to double check that one. See, this is how like not new, but how I don't know all the things yet, which is really exciting to me. But something happens. Either the orc gods split or they fuse. One of the two. At some point, there is an orc god called Gorka Morka, which is both Gork and Mork together. That's all I know. So chaos starts happening. Blah, 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 blah. And it gets really, really bad. And everyone is having a really hard time fighting the chaos stuff. And Sigmar up here, in his infinite wisdom, says, shit, that sucks. Close the gates. And he closes the gates to his, like, basically puts his, like, I close the gates in a metaphorical sense. He puts, like, a protective bubble around the main city of Azir. I think it might even be, I think it's just the city. It could be all of Azir, but either way, he is protected with the scant few humans, and he doesn't leave. And he basically leaves the rest of the humans to their fate out here in the rest of the realms and says, you know what? Good luck. Chaos is fucked. I'm going to protect my little section right here. Or it seems that way. He hides himself away. And all the other gods go, well, shit. And they have to deal with chaos on their own as well. Eventually... Oh, and during that time, this becomes the Age of Chaos. And the Age of Chaos is like, everything's fucked. Chaos basically rules the world pretty instantly. Like, they don't have to work too hard for it. They're not destroying anything. They just kind of like... Let me double check that. Yeah. And it's centuries long. Like, it's not a small amount of time where chaos blooms into the realms and becomes really entrenched. And during this time, Sigmar is just kind of gone. Like... There's demons everywhere. Chaos is shit. And then Sigmar opens his gates. I should not use green. Green is the chaos color. He opens his gates and he says, hey, bitches. That's too close to the other one. Hey, bitches, it's me. It's Sigmar. Bam, bam. Look what I've got. And he shows off his toys, and he's got these brand new things called Stormcast Eternals. Lost in my brain for a second there. And they're basically human souls of humans who have died, and they've been reforged into superhumans using his lightning powers on a thing called the Anvil. Now, this was happening the entire time he was hiding in the thing. He was basically taking souls as they died. And Nagash is fucking mad about it. Those souls were his, damn it. Also, at some point, Nagash consumed all of the other death god, so he became the most powerful death god and the sole ruler of Shaiish. So if you believe in Anubis or whatever, and so Anubis existed then in Shaiish, Nagash ate him. So it's just Nagash now. And he says, hey, bitch, those were my fucking souls, but whatever. Don't do it again. And Sigmar says, oh, sorry, and then continues to do it. So... This, by the way, when Sigmar pops out and says, here's my Stormcast Eternals, this is the Age of Sigmar. Now, when I say a dead human, I don't really mean a fully dead human. So, or sometimes they are fully dead. It goes back and forth. But basically, let's say you're Farmer Bob in Shaiish, right? Actually, let's say you're Farmer Bob in Akshi. It's hot. Sucks. You farm dirt. I don't know. And, your farm gets attacked by chaos demons. Well, you're gonna protect your family, right? And so you stand at the door with your pitchfork. You don't stand a chance against some demonettes. Like, they will slice you to ribbons and torture you for years on end just because you defied them slightly, you know? But you're gonna stand up against them because you have to. Your family's in the house, and you get up there. And you start fighting, and it's a very short fight. I say start fighting, you're instantly killed, throat cut, done, and they move in towards your family and stuff. As Farmer Bob, Sigmar is basically watching, and he says, that guy was heroic. He didn't do much. He didn't do anything, but he was heroic. And so he goes and sucks your soul out of your body. Basically, your soul starts flying to Shaiish, and he intercepts it and says, no, you're going to Azir. And he takes you there, and he reforges you into a Stormcast Eternal. Now, your entire life beforehand is erased, basically. I mean, it's not erased. It's hidden deep within your psyche. You can still access it, but it's difficult. And the longer you live as a Stormcast, the longer, the harder it is to recall that stuff. So, you become a Stormcast Eternal, and now you're a fighting machine for Sigmar to kill Chaos. And Nagash is pissed that he didn't get this soul. But now you're over here. You don't even remember you have a family. You're being reforged in the moment that they're all being killed. And maybe your wife is also taken because she protects your daughter or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. You can become a Stormcast Eternal if you are sufficiently brave enough facing your death or whatever. And that could be killing a whole fuckload of chaos on your own. That could be like just standing up for with one person, like in unsurmountable odds, whatever. You get taken to Azir. And so he uses this army that he's created by stealing the souls during this age of chaos. These hundreds of years of slaughter where people are fighting back and doing their best to live on their own without help. And he takes everyone that basically is good, is appropriately heroic in his mind. And he pops them out and says, hey, Chaos, guess what? Fuck off. And he pushes it back, like, with the help of some other gods. So he forms some alliances. He forms this thing called the Grand Alliance of Order, which is a bunch of gods that believe that, obviously, the opposite of chaos is obviously order. And so they've got to work together to create this... they got to work together to push chaos out of the realms, which will never happen. It'll never be fully pushed out. But they could technically get it to a point where it's, like, just a nuisance. Where like 1 or 2 cities fall every once in a while and then they just erase them or whatever. So technically it's possible because they do push them back really, really well. But this whole era, this part where he hops out and says, hey, guess what, Chaos? Fuck you. That is the Age of Sigmar. So now we're at the actual time period of the game. This is, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of years since Sigmar found the mortal realms. And now... we're finally here in the fucking setting. So the world has a lot of history built into it. There's a lot of history built in that it doesn't feel like it's fresh. I mean, it does feel like it's fresh, but it doesn't feel like it's. You can say, oh, why there could be ancient civilizations that no one knows about because that happened during the Age of Myth and everyone forgot during the Age of Chaos. Like, they've set it up perfectly to be like anything could be possible during the Age of Myth, essentially, and we wouldn't know until we found out about it. You know, so. That's the general gist of how we got through the history. Now, briefly, Nagash says, all right, I was with you before. I'm going to join your thing of order because nothing is more orderly than a bunch of zombies walking, or than a bunch of skeletons walking in perfect lockstep or whatever. Let's fight chaos. And then he gets more and more pissed off about this soul thing. And he says, you know what? Fuck you. I'm making my own fighting thing. I'm going to go start my own club with blackjack and hookers, and he creates the Grand Alliance of Death, which is just him. It's him and his minions, essentially. And now he is an enemy of Sigmar because he's pissed off about the soul thing. So they're enemies, but he's also enemies with Chaos, and they're also enemies with Chaos. So, like, that's a thing. And then Gorka Morka says, you know what, fuck you guys too, over here in Beat and Gur. It's like, I hate all of you. I'm fighting all of you. And so now you have... guys, this is getting messy. Hold on, back up. Okay, and then, so now you have, like, in terms of enemies, you have Destruction over here. Destruction, who hates Chaos, and also hates... Destruction hates Death, hates Chaos, hates Order. And then you have Order, who hates Destruction, or fights Destruction, fights Death, fights Chaos. And then you have Death, which fights Order, fights Destruction, and fights Chaos. And then you have Chaos, who's just fucking fighting everybody. Everyone's fighting everybody. That's the point, is what I'm trying to make. Is that there are now 4 different main alliances that fight each other for in some cases for different things. For these guys, it's for fun. For Death, he believes that everyone should be dead so that he could create a perfect army in order to fight Chaos. So that he believes the only way he can win against Chaos, and Nagash believes the only way he can win against Chaos is if everyone is dead and he has control over them unilaterally. Sigmar says, no, people should have free will, they're humans, fuck all of you. And then Chaos says, fuck all of you, ha ha ha, hee hee. You know? So that's how we get to where we're at. So, factions. In no particular order, though it is a particular order. I'm just going to pull up my... Check this out. Hold on. I'm going to pull up my little mini website I made. Give me but a moment to find it. Excuse me. Gotta do a bit of scrolling. This is only going to be up for like another month because I forgot to stop paying them. Anyway, little mini website I have, which lets you see the 40k army info, like info about 40k armies or Age of Sigmar info. And this will help me get through the fucking, we'll talk about this a little bit. So, we're going to go by Grand Alliance. These are the factions in the game. And now we're finally getting to the factions of what you can play and like who is what. So the Grand Alliance of Order is very much modeled after the Imperials from the Old World. But they aren't as Holy Roman Empire as they once were. They got some interesting technology, like they have a lot of guns, like they're the main users of guns. Sort of even the odds between regular humans and all the horrors out there is gun. But they also have some interesting things, like, oh, I love this dude. Hold on. Check this guy out. I can't zoom in. Hold on. You see this weird, like, Griffhound thing? Hold on. It's based off of, like, old school, like, medieval fucking griffin art, where, like, the tails, like, curl and do weird things, and you have this, like look at that, with, like, the tongue out. It's exactly one of those, but made real. It's super fun. Here, one second. I'm gonna fucking post this in my Warhammer Discord, because I knew about this and I forgot. Anyway, so, yeah. So you got the cities of Sigmar, they're just like humans, basically. These are the people that are populated across, everything. And we're going to go very fast through this. The Daughters of Cain are a little funky. They're part of the Grand Alliance of Order. So there are elves. There are several types of elves. There are, but these are one of the types of elves. They're basically the replacement for the Dark Elves. So in the Old World, there was a group of elves called the Dark Elves. They had people like Malekith and Marathi and things like that. They're like very big, important names, and they all lived in that America section, the America area. But they were exactly what you'd expected of the Dark Elves, basically similar to the 40k ones. They were like hedonistic and weird and had slaves, and it was a whole thing. And this time, I don't know exactly why, but they decided, you know what? We're dropping the Dark Elf. We're not going to have it anymore. We're going to split the idea of the Dark Elf into two separate armies, or two separate factions, and they did that. So the Daughters of Cain are basically Cain is the, let me start there. Cain is the god of murder. Yes, he does sound like corn or Karn, but it is Cain, and they all have H's in their name. Cain is the god of murder. He is, and yes, it is a reference to Cain as in Cain and Abel. But anyway, Cain is the elven god of murder. At some point, Cain gets shattered. I don't know how or why. Again, I have to look things up. But at some point, Cain gets shattered. He gets turned to a million pieces. It happens in both 40k and it happens in AoS. I guess Cain is just destined to be in pieces. And the Daughters of Cain are people that are led by Marathi, who basically worship Cain, the god of murder, and want to resurrect him and put all his pieces back together. And they also hate chaos with all their fiber of their being. I think it was probably chaos that shattered Cain, if I had to guess. Part of the reason they hate chaos, actually we gotta back up even further, at some point during the Old World, when the Old World dies, Slaanesh eats all of the elves. Literally eats all of the elves. And they're all hanging, and they don't die, or their souls don't die, they just hang out in Slaanesh's stomach. And, excuse me, they're literally stuck there. And at some point, I think Sigmar or one of the elves or somebody, cuts the stomach open essentially and frees a bunch of the elven souls. And Marathi is one of the souls that is freed, and she forms the Daughters of Cain. as Kane worshippers. This is Morathi right here. So she's one of the old world souls that has come through. She doesn't remember any of the old world souls don't remember anything about the old world because they basically became souls and then got brought back to life. Sigmar does because he never died during that process. He wasn't on the planet when it exploded or whatever. So yeah. Oh, that's right. Sorry, complete side. Oh, actually, we'll get to there when we get there. So they're just, classic elves that are about murder, about whatever, but they are still on the side of order, even though they are kind of dubious allies. I think if chaos didn't exist, they would be seen as villains / enemies. One fun fact for you is Morathi actually has found Kane's heart and has, I think, consumed it or done some sort of ritual to it. And so now she basically is in the place of Kane. But she doesn't tell any of her followers that. She tells them all that they're still worshiping Kane and that they're giving Kane power. But every time they worship her or whatever, or worship Kane or do a thing in Kane's name, they're giving her power. She's actually usurped his position as the god of murder. So, and none of them know. Which is why, if you scroll down here, there's 2 models for Morathi. You have regular Morathi, then you have Snake Morathi. They're like, it's funky. She's got a whole thing going on. I think she actually at some point splits in 2 as part of this process. There actually are 2 Morathis running around. It's not just like she can transform into this. There are literally 2. But yeah, so Daughters of Kane are crazy. They're interesting, and they're one of the. If you want to be a bad guy but don't want to be a bad guy, this is like a good choice, right? You had the Fire Slayers, which were the only dwarves originally. So in Old World, there was this thing that dwarves would do called becoming a slayer, essentially, which is where you would do something bad in life, and you go, fuck, I fucked up so bad that I deserve death, and they say, okay, yeah, you're right, you deserve the death penalty, but we're not going to kill you. We're going to hand you an axe or 2, and you're going to go fight chaos until you die. Like, you just are going to go die in battle. And if you die any other way, then you're fucked. You're mega shamed. And so the Slayers are all people that are all dwarves that are seeking penance in their own deaths. They're all trying to die, like basically suicidal murderers who are there to kill chaos and are not afraid to die. And so they don't wear armor. They just run into battle head first. Originally, when AoS came out, these were basically the only dwarves that were really around. And that is changed. That has changed. Also, there are dwarves in the cities of Sigmar. I forgot to mention it's humans mostly, but there's also like some regular elves, some dwarves, and actually they say dwarfs. They don't say dwarves. They say dwarfs. Anyway, this is a sect of dwarves, and they have the same thing. They're penance dwarves. They're like, I'm gonna run in there and go die, but they've got these cool magma drops, cool magma guys. Speaking of elves and dwarves, the Ideneth Deepkin are another sect of elves. So when the elves were originally pulled from Slaanesh's belly, there was a fuck up. There was a mistake. And the mistake was that any elf they pulled out basically was formed without a soul. Like, it's really weird. They're basically soulless. And when someone is soulless in Age of Sigmar, they don't have eyes. So if something doesn't have eyes, it generally doesn't have a soul, unless it's a Tzeentch thing, and then it just doesn't have eyes because that's just a Tzeentch thing. But for the most part, if it doesn't have eyes, it doesn't have a soul, because eyes are the windows to the soul, or whatever. And a couple of them make it out, but most of them don't. And then, this is how it works. The souls make it out, and then for whatever reason, not all of them attach. So the Ideneth will have babies, and those babies will just be born soulless, because none of the souls are actually attaching. They decide, fuck this shit, I'm living underwater. I don't know how or why this happens. I am so behind on why. I don't know much about the Ideneth Deepkin. So they're a missing place. They're definitely a blind spot in my lore knowledge. But essentially, they go underwater and say, hey, we're going to live down here. See you guys later. We're going to figure out our soul problem. And they don't. So they have these. So a lot of their army are these dudes. You notice they have no eyes. They have sockets for eyes. They have no eyes. And they are soulless. They're basically used like mindless automata. They're just kind of like, oh, these are dudes that are just going to do what we tell them to perfectly every time. They're robots, essentially. And then you have the dudes who actually have souls, who have like access to their powerful elven magic because they're underwater. They have all these like underwater themes and stuff. It's super neat. They're also pretty ignored as an army. They're not very popular, and GW doesn't give them a lot of stuff. They just gave them a new thing, I think. But yeah, and they're largely ignored for a lot of stuff. People usually forget about them. So that's the other half of the Dark Elves, because these guys will go out on raids. They're also part of the Grand Alliance of Order, but they will still raid human civilizations and take people for their souls. They'll literally steal the souls and like shatter them and turn them into new elven, put them in elven bodies and make elven souls. Like, it's a really weird. Souls are the currency of the mortal realms. Everyone is dealing in souls in some one way or another. And so they use their souls to like replenish the soul or give the souls to people who need them or want them or whatever. But they go out on raids and they raid human civilizations and things. Same thing with these people. They'll raid human civilizations for blood. So they're part of an alliance, but they aren't perfect allies. They are dubious allies. And there's one more set of dubious allies, and guess what? It's elves again. But we'll get there. So again, the dubious allies, the dubious dark elf allies, they then split into like several different factions essentially. The Caradon Overlords are the other dwarves that are around. So there's Rayla Dwarden, which are exactly the dwarves you would expect. And those are generally with the cities of Sigmar. They're generally like amongst the humans and things. And then there's the Caradon Overlords, and they are very like, they have they're very steampunk. They have sky ships, they have guns, they have like weird dirigible backpacks, you know, stuff like this. Like, look at this dude. Okay. This is a perfect example. Look at him. He's got like a weird dirigible backpack with like not Art Nouveau. What's it called? Art Deco, like stuff going on with it. And then down here, he's got a brass mask with a permanent monocle tied to the mask, a top hat, and he has guns in the beard of the mask. That's what we're looking at here. That's the style of what's going on here. But yeah, they live up in the sky. They have a code of honor. If you've ever watched Star Trek, specifically Deep Space Nine, because that's where they get the most interaction. There's a race of people called the Ferengi, and they're very money grubbing and very like they have a code of ethics, or code, not really ethics, but a code of money. And they often cite the code where they're like, section 5 of chapter 16, subsection B, never leave profit on the table. Like that kind of thing. These guys have the exact same thing. They have a code of like ethics and laws that they'll quote at each other about stuff that everyone has memorized. And they're also very like focused on riches and things. They are very, actually, think about it. They are very, I wrote that here. They're very Ferengi coded. I already thought about this. Okay, cool. Yeah. Very, very similar. Lumineth Realm Lords are the other elves that are good elves. These ones are more recently removed from Slaanesh's belly. By the way, Slaanesh is imprisoned. That's how they're getting these things out of Slaanesh's belly. Slaanesh is imprisoned. So yeah, that's what's happening there. They have this whole like light aesthetic. They come from Haish, the realm of light over here. And they're in Haish, and so they have like a lot of like light and magic and things, and they're very fancy. I don't like their big tall helmets. Elves always have big tall helmets in GW properties. I've never been a fan of them. I do like the big goat mountains, the big walking mountain with a hammer. That's really cool. And the aesthetic of the armor, that's really cool. But the weird helmets, leave those. Yeah. No, elves. If you like elves, this is the elviest elves. If you like wood elves, we'll get there. There are, let's see, Daughters of Cain, Lumineth Realm Lords, Sylvaneth, and the Ideneth Thiefkin. There are 4 different elven factions if you like elves. So, yeah, it's entirely like a thing that's easy to get a hold of if you like elves. Anyway, moving on. You got the Seraphon. These are sort of a Mayan, Aztec, Incan, like all the South American civilizations sort of smashed together into one. Obviously, they're dinosaurs. They're big lizard men who ride on dinosaurs. They're really funky. So there's these guys called the Old Ones, or the Slan, and they manually create this race. They're like frog people. Or the Slan are the frog people, and the frog people say we need to fight chaos. So they manually create a group of sentient dinosaur fighters with big dinosaurs and big lizard men, and they say, all right, your job now is to fight chaos. And they say, okay. Basically, they make chaos fighting robots because they don't do anything else. And it's very much a that's their whole thing. But they're very cool. I do love the idea of dinosaurs riding robots. I don't know why I used these dudes as the models, as the image. I'm gonna have to go through and change this because they have better models now that I would use for this. Anyway, I made this a little while ago. So yeah, that's what's up with the Seraphon. They're neat. And when I said earlier that almost everyone uses the realm gates, this is why I said almost everyone. Partly, the Skaven were part of it, but the Seraphon were the other half. They have actual working spaceships. They're big pyramids that go out into space and can fly between the realms. Like they have weird technology that shouldn't be in the fantasy setting, but they have it. Like spaceships, but they don't use guns. They're all melee, but they have spaceships. You know what I mean? Like it's funky. It's very like Stargate in a weird way. Okay. Stormcast Eternals. These are the dudes that Sigmar showed up with and was like, "Hey, Chaos, guess what, bitches? I've got new guys. I've got a bunch of guys that I can pop out." And they've made an alliance with dragons, and so they have like dragons that they ride and things like that. Drakes. Excuse me. Yeah, they're very much like your classic knight, but they are, like 8 feet tall. It is very much Sigmar. It is very much Fantasy's version of the Space Marine. I don't think it's cooler, because they are not some weird genetic abomination. They are regular people who have just been reforged into stuff. So they've had a whole life beforehand, which gives them experience to lean on. And they have like these because in a way, Space Marines are giant 14-year-olds because they basically start their implantation surgery at 14, and their brains don't really get a chance to cook until they're fully Space Marined out. So everyone is very like immature and weird. And it's intentional. Like in 40K, it's definitely intentional that all those Space Marines are like super weirdly immature. It's just a thing that they do. But the Stormcast were all adults originally, and so they all have this air of like the air of maturity about them, about what they're doing, versus the Space Marines, which are very much like for honor and glory, brother. And these guys are like, you gotta kill chaos. What do you mean? Yes, there's honor. Yes, there's glory, but that's not what we're here for. Chaos. We're here to kill them. That kind of thing. So, yes, they're pretty cool. I kind of want to have a spearhead of them at some point, because I think they're neat. The Sylvaneth, the last elves. I promise. This is still the Grand Alliance of Order, by the way, which is the biggest Grand Alliance. So we will be moving through pretty fast. Might even get to play some Nightreign after all. So these are sort of an alliance in that they hate chaos and they're neutral on the humans. They are basically elven souls that have been fused with the forest, thanks to Ariel, the queen of the green. And they're angry. They're angry about the forest being fucked with. That's their main piss-offedness. And so it can be like, sometimes it's dryads, which are just, tree people. But there's also like these guys, which are the guys that are like half tree, half spirit. You got the branch lords, you can see back here. You get weirder stuff, like, I forgot her name, but she's in like a tree full of bees. You can see all the bees flying out. Like, stuff like that is a thing. It's ghosts in tree mechs. Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. They're also a dubious ally, though, because let's say you're in a city like Greywater Fastness, which is in Gyran, the realm of life, but it's like an industrial city, and so you're causing pollution around you. They're not going to like you. They might not attack the city outright, but if you leave the city and are alone, they'll just kill you in the forest quietly. They'll be like, "Hey, fuck that guy, kill him." So you gotta be careful about that. Sylvaneth are pretty neutral. They really just don't want their forests fucked with, or nature fucked with. No matter who you are, you fuck with nature, you're fucked. That's a lot of fucks. Which is why they hate chaos so much. Because especially Nurgle really likes to mess with nature. Okay, moving on to the Grand Alliance of Death. We have the Flesh Eater Courts. This is my favorite Grand Alliance. I know the most about them. The Flesh Eater Courts are really funky in that they are deluded. They 100% believe that they are noble humans in a court of like shining gold and beautiful like dragons that are with them, and lavish feasts and banners and flags and nobility. Like, they all believe that they're noble knights destroying evil. What they are these horrible, like, half-alive zombie thing cannibals that, like, eat people, and are, like, weirdly bat-related. They're, like, not quite vampires. They're, like, more primal versions of vampires in a way. But they believe that they're this court of you know, stuff. I think originally, when AoS came out, this was supposed to be the vampires. They were like, oh yeah, they're like fleshy, they're like cannibals, they look like bats, they believe they're noble, but then they went, you know, let's actually put real vampires in. So yeah, they're all big delusion stuff. They're really cool, they're really fun. This isn't, I don't have the model here, but there's one model that's like a judge, and you can see the delusion with the judge, where it's like, he, what is it? He has like you know, the like the hair, like the judge hair, you know what I'm talking about, like the powdered wig. He has a powdered wig, but it's like a God, words are hard. It's powdered wig, but it's made of intestines. That was it. I got there. And so it's like you can obviously see he thinks it's a powdered wig, but for anyone else who's not delusional, they can see that it is literally just made of intestines, which is crazy. Hold on, hold on, I'm looking something up real fast. It's far away. What was this box? Anyway, moving back. We went too far. Okay. And my personal favorite, my army, the Night Haunt. These are ghosts. These are sheet ghosts. You know, woo, spooky ghost. They are all ironic punishments, basically. So if you were a criminal, you turn into like one of these regular dudes, chain rasps. Basically, and criminal is anything that Nagash deems is a criminal. So he's like, hey, you're a criminal because you said you didn't like me. Guess what? You're a criminal now. So it's sort of up to his discretion. So yeah, but basically you become one of these. So that one's not really that ironic, but like this guy. This guy is Kurdros Valentin. I think it's Kurdros Valentin. Anyway, he is one second. He is like a what's the word? Like he was a guy that fought and basically cheated and betrayed to become king. And he, sorry, I'm trying to find a fucking. Someone asked me a question. I'm trying to find a thing. Anyway, so he betrayed people to become king, and Nagash was like, "That's fucked. You suck," and basically made him a king, quote unquote. But he can't say anything. He can't get off his throne. He has to float his little mobility scooter throne around to like hit people, and his little guys here, his little heralds, just talk shit about him constantly. They don't get. It is a constant like, this guy sucks. Everyone learn about how he peed his bed until he was 40 years old. Like they're just these heralds to tell everyone how much he sucks and all the horrible things he's done, or all of the stupid things he's done. Like that's their entire existence. They literally are stuck to him constantly, and they just mock him at all times. And there's another set of guys that isn't an ironic punishment for them either, but they're like crossbowmen, and they were crossbowmen in life. Or maybe they were like dudes who really enjoyed like killing people with their bare hands, and they said, no more of that. You gotta shoot a crossbow, it's chained to you. Like that kind of stuff. Like stuff like that, where that's the kind of stuff where they do, where they'll be like, or like they'll give healers that like tried to stop people from dying, which Nagash views as a crime. You'll give them blade hands, so they can't, even if they try and touch anybody, they like to help them, they can't, they just slice them apart. Like that kind of thing. But he has a bunch of crossbowmen whose whole job it is to follow him around, and when he's about to kill somebody, steal his kill. Just shoot the guy with the crossbow before he could actually hit it. So he's like a perfectly perfectly kept in this incompetent king mode. And that's the kind of stuff that Nighthaunt are about, where it's like, let's give you a ironic punishment based on what you did in life or whatever. You know, like, some of them, though, it is just who they were. Like, the Executioners generally become Executioners. And Arlok the Drowner was just a serial killer who became Arlok the Drowner. But for the most part, it is a punishment of some kind. That being said, Ossiarch Bone Reapers are the main, like, force for Nagash. It's his main army, essentially. They are... the fuck is this thing? Sorry, someone asked me what that model was. It's at least showing me the fusible. Hold on. I think they had this. No. Anyway, sorry. I'm just gonna answer them after the stream. Or when I take a break. So the Nighthaunt, or not the Nighthaunt, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are the main force for Nagash. They are not made out of, they're made out of bones, obviously, but they are not fully, they're not just people, they're not just skeletons that were raised. You'll notice there's like, if you look at this, his rib cage starts really fucking low and is full and is like sort of filled in, it's fused together. He's got these weird legs and has like bone kneecapy things that don't, it's funky. What's happening here is that they take pre-existing bones and they melt them down, they grind them up, and then a guy with bone magic reforges them into the perfect shape for like what they need. So like this is made out of human bone. You know, even though this has like a big alligator head, it's made out of human bone that is then just molded into this shape with like the arms and the whatever, and it has a big backpack back here that you can't really see, and like a little guy out here, a little crotch goblin. Like they mold them into whatever shape they need. And then they take the souls of the dead people that they've killed and they tear them apart and they also mold that to whatever shape they need. So let's say they killed George, and George was a very loyal man, but he had a temper problem, right? They killed George to take his bones. They melt his bones down. They make a new Ossiarch. In fact, maybe they make half an Ossiarch because they need more bones than one person can provide. So they take George and they take his wife Betty, and Betty was not very loyal, but she was very disciplined about money and about like making sure that she did the things she was supposed to, right? And they take them both and they melt their bones together and make one Ossiarch. And they say, well, we have these two souls. Let's rip them apart and take their aspects apart and then put them back together. So they take the loyalty out of Bob or George, whatever his name was, and they take the discipline out of Betty and they go and fuse them, maybe with some of their neighbors too. They fuse some of their good properties into that one soul and go and pop it into a new soldier. Now the soldier is disciplined, loyal, and whatever else the neighbors had. Like they basically create their own souls through ripping apart other ones. And the same thing with the bones. They take the bones, they melt them down, they put them back together. So everything is like supposed to be a perfect creation, essentially, for war, for Nagash. Basically his version of the Seraphon robots that kill chaos. However, they do this really interesting thing where they go to people who live in Shyish and they basically demand a bone tithe, where they won't just kill the whole town, because if people give them a tithe, it's more sustainable. Like, if a town gives you 20 corpses, and you get to use all their bones, and you leave. Let's say there's a town of 100 people. They give you 20 corpses, and you leave for 50 years. And you come back, and people have been born, people have died, and you demand the bones again, and they can give you another 20 corpses, and you do that for another 50 years. You come back, and then 20 more corpses. And so, over time, you can have more than 100 people's worth of bones, because you're slowly taking it out of them. However, and if they don't comply, you just kill them, and you get those 100 corpses, those leftover 100, you know? So like, basically they just become a farm for bones, and they'll come up and they'll get your taxes, your bone taxes, and leave, as long as you give them their taxes. Very cattle-like for the people. Okay. Soulblight Gravelords are your classic Castlevania vampires, where there's like one vampire and a million quote-unquote creatures of the night. So you have like skeletons, zombies, bats, demons, like not really demons because they think of chaos, but you know, those kind of things. You have a whole skeleton army. You have like weird vampires that are like half vampire, half like bat thing, but they're still vampires. You got regular ass vampires in like red armor and stuff. They have a whole court thing. It's just vampires, man. Like, and there's nothing to really explain here except that they listen to Nagash because they have to, because they're dead, because they're undead / dead. Nagash has power over them, and they can't really escape that fact. So they do listen to what he says, although they are the most unruly of his children. Not second to last is the Grand Alliance of Chaos, and this is exactly what you would expect. If you know anything about 40k, it's the exact same Chaos Gods. If you don't, I'll go through them real quick. You have 4 Chaos Gods. You have Khorne, the god of murder; Nurgle, the god of disease and decay; you have Tzeentch, the god of change and magic and insanity; and then you have Slaanesh, which is the god of like hedonistic excess. So like eating too much, fucking too much, drugs too much. That's Slaanesh. Too much sensation, that kind of thing. So each god has their own mortal following, the mortals that work with the demons. So you have the Blades of Khorne. Blades of Khorne are mortals who have fallen to the god of chaos, a god of murder. They're all about just killing things. Like this dude is, I think this is a slaughter priest, who's technically a priest, and this is technically a censor, but obviously it's a big fucking hammer on a chain. He's just using to murder people. Everyone here is like running around scarred and shirtless or whatever. You got these dudes. There's demons, obviously all the chaos demons. Like this dog he's on isn't a real dog, it's a demon, like that kind of thing. So all of these like Blades of Khorne, Maggotkin of Nurgle, stuff like that, those are all working with the god and their demons, basically. Disciples of Tzeentch, same thing. It's for the god of magic and magic and change and insanity. You can kind of see that here in this particular model exactly. Where you have this weird no-eyed guy, but he has like eyes that climb up the sides of his like weird horn helmet thing, and he's got like uneven bits, and he's like stabbing a book, which is causing fire to appear because he's doing magic, and the staff has an eye, and he's got 3 arms for some reason. Like that's very Tzeentch. This is all very Tzeentch. They're like weird fucking shit going on. He's very like hee hee ha ha the god. He's very tricksy. He Knights of Slaanesh, you know, taking people's skin and wearing it, like, doing like, you know, this thing has a bunch of barbs on it and isn't actually sharp, and it's just meant to like cause a fuckload of pain. That's another sensation, like pain and pleasure, and all the things are all kind of tied together to them. You get this guy on the palanquin back here who's like just has a bunch of slaves and is like eating the people. Their like main demon is this weird, like, they're all kind of like weird BDSM demons, you know. I don't know. It's interesting. And by the way, these greater demons, whenever you see them in 40k or in AoS, often are the closest reflection to what the god actually looks like that you can get to. So if you're wondering what a god looks like, look at the greater demon, and it's close to what they're probably going to look like. Maggotkin of Nurgle. And Nurgle, a god of disease and decay. They don't feel a lot of pain. They're very tanky. That's kind of their whole shtick in both games. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically it. They're bloated. They all look fat, but really they're just bloated with like disease. Like this guy, he has a bell in his stomach that's just sort of ringing as he's walking around. Like it's fucking cool. You have the greater demons, obviously, big scary disease monster. This one particularly is a named demon. This is Rodigus, the Rainfather. So he looks particularly wet because he's the Rainfather. But yeah, there's a lot of he's like a mage. Basically, of the great unclean ones. That's their whole shtick. That's their vibe. Slaves to Darkness are the guys that follow all of the Chaos Gods at once, and they just like basically the bad guys, the Black Knights. Like if you look at this picture, there's 100% when you hear like the Black Knight. This is like exactly what you would picture, right? That's their goal. That's their vibe. Is to be that. So a lot of black, a lot of gold. They're followers of all the gods. In fact, there's a guy in their ranks. You can see him here in the background of this picture on a big dragon with multi heads called Archeon the Everchosen, and he's basically a human who has been chosen by all the gods to represent them. So he is a rarity in that all of the gods agree on this one human. He's super cool. All the chaos gods agree that this one human is super cool. This is Be'lakor. He's like the main demon of that sect. He's not set to only one god. He is basically attached to all of them, and he really also gives off, he's like a demon version of that Black Knight aesthetic with, like, you know, his like default black skin, his like big fucking horns, like it's like exactly that like evil Arthurian legend Black Knight vibe, but a demon. You know, you can see their horns. It's the same thing. And that's their whole thing, is like the bad guys, like the main bad guy dudes. Skaven are also part of Chaos. In fact, in AoS, I didn't mention this yet, and you might not know this, there is a 5th Chaos God that is of the same power of the other 4. It is the Great Horned Rat. And you might say, if you knew about AoS before, you might say, hey, no, that's not true. The Great Horned Rat isn't actually the same power, but they just upgraded him recently. In fact, Archeon recently got... They're talking about how even Archeon follows the Great Horned Rat now because he is of equal power to the rest of the Chaos Gods. He's been chosen as well. Be'lakor as well is one of the Great Horned Rat followers. And what the Great Horned Rat is Chaos God for the Ratmen, the Skaven, who are probably the most evil thing in the entire franchise. Which sounds crazy because they're silly little Ratmen that say things like, "We are the best, yes, yes." Like, they speak funny, and so they can't be that evil. But there's some really fucked up shit just amongst themselves, like just how they treat each other. I'm gonna go into a little bit of a fucked up explanation. Warning for a lot of things: sexual assault, forced pregnancy, like that. You know, I'm not even gonna go into the details. That's the kind of shit that they have going on with like how do you get more rats? Well, it says right here, actually right here, probably the most evil faction in AoS. Next line, don't get me started on rat mothers. So yeah, that's a thing. And there's a lot of them. That's part of those things, that there's so many of them. Ooh, Skaven also have a really weird cross-universe way to get, like, Skaven can get anywhere they want, basically through a thing called a gnaw hole, which is like a hole that they can dig through reality. And they can that's how they get across the mortal realms. They go through gnaw holes. They don't use the realm gates, usually. They usually just gnaw hole their way through. In fact, there was even one time in 40k where, like, an Eldar or something, or the Mechanicus, someone accidentally connected to a gnaw hole that was tunneling through reality, and they momentarily got to speak to some Skaven, and it freaked them out. And the Skaven were just like, yep, we're going to talk to you through our warpstone. But the warpstone is this, like, demon-infested stone that they all use. They use it as drugs. They attach it to their guys. Anything that's green on a Skaven, like anything that's glowing green, that is warpstone. That is their obsession. Like these little stones here, this here, that, the thing in his forehead. These guys are Great Horned Rats. They aren't the Great Horned Rats. They're just called Great Horned Rats. They're the Great Horned Rats version of a greater demon. They're not really demons per se. They are, I think, rats that have been transformed. They might be demons. I don't actually know. I have to look at their tag. But I think they've just been elevated by the Great Horned Rat to look like the Great Horned Rat. Anyway, there's a lot that can be said about Skaven. They're generally the bad guys. They're the bad guys in Vermintide too. They're the ones that mainly caused the end of the world in the old world, which is how the Great Horned Rat got elevated to Chaos God. Okay. Gloomspite Gits are little cave goblins and things. Hey, welcome to the Work Lurk. We're gonna be doing Nightreign eventually, pretty soon here. I'm getting to the end of what I just decided. I mentioned it earlier. Oh wait, you're lurking. Work lurking. Hello. Hey Goop. I'll tell you later. We're gonna play Nightreign. Anyway, so the cave goblins. All right, we're gonna get back to something real fast. Remember earlier I mentioned the bad moon? Right, I was like, hey, there's a moon over here. There's a moon called the bad moon. He should be green. There's a moon called the bad moon, and he's angry. Bad moon. So the bad moon, I'll get a picture for you. Is a Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. A moon with literally a face on it. Like, I didn't draw the face to be funny. It has a face. Bup, 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 bup. Here we go. So the bad moon is a thing that flies around the mortal realms. It literally, like, there was once a drawing of the path it took for like 100 years or something, and it was like something like this. It was like, it was literally some bullshit like that. It was like, that's the path the bad moon took this year. It doesn't have a solid orbit because it's sentient. It basically is a sentient moon that flies around and looks at shit. And whenever its light falls on an area, a bunch of mushrooms grow and things get really fucking weird. So the gloom spike whoops, minimizing too many things. The gloom spike gets are. Did I completely close Obsidian? How the fuck would I do that? No, not OBS. No. Anyway, I did. Oh wait, I wasn't on Obsidian. Wait. I didn't have Obsidian open. I'm an idiot. Hold on. There we go. I was looking at my notes through the website. So the Gloomspike Gits are little goblins and things that hide in caves, and they worship the bad moon. And the bad moon is all about, like, for lack of a better word, dankness. Like that cold, wet, slimy cave with like the mushrooms and things like that. That's its whole thing, and that's their whole thing. They're very much into the whole dankness of the bad moon. You can see the bad moon is like drawn all over their stuff. They got like a bad moon mask and things. Like the guys who are in charge are called loon bosses. Like that's literally their thing. Is like bugs, trolls, running around being shitheads. You got some bigger trolls that are part of their stuff, but for the most part, it's mostly like goblins like this. They're interesting. They're fun little guys. They basically follow. A lot of them follow the bad moon around, and when the bad moon like shines a light on an area, they go, "Oh, time to kill it!" And they go in and they run in and kill everyone there that they can. They're very similar to Skaven with that like goofy weirdness vibe, but they are just significantly less evil. They're more goofy, funny, haha, weird, and less, oh my god, that's so fucked up. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Gloomspike Gits. This is destruction, by the way. We're on to destruction. So, like, this is like orcs and things. We have, or people who, destruction is more like people, it's not really a real alliance. Destruction is just a category for the folks that don't fit into an alliance, basically. Ogre Maw tribes are sort of humans. You can see how much bigger they are compared to a human. They're also cannibals. They're big, scary ogre cannibals that will fight anyone to get meat, but they learned at some point that they could exchange money for meat, and so they became honestly mercenaries mostly. They will just fight for anyone a lot of the time, or for their own like tribe of stuff. They worship a thing called the Great Maw, which is a big open mouth in the ground essentially, and it's constantly eating, and they want to be like the Great Maw. You can see like the Great Maw is like their symbol all over their like stomachs and things on their like plate armor. Yeah, they're all about like eating a bunch of eating everything they can. That's literally their whole thing is eat. So if they raid any civilizations, they're doing it just for the meat. Yeah. Moving on. I'm trying to get through this so I can swap to Nightreign. Orc War Clans. It's orcs, man. There's not a lot going on except for it says Gorka Morka became one. Okay, I was right. So this is actually a weird faction in that it's kind of two at the same time. So it's orcs and their weird orc stuff, and it's very, very similar to 40k orcs or like fantasy orcs. So they just want to kill stuff. They want to run around, have a good time. They like battle. They're just there to fight. And be big. And the bigger they are, the more important they are, and the more in charge they are, etc., etc. There's also a subsect of orcs called the Cruel Boys, which are more like hobgoblins, these dudes. And they're like in the swamps and things, and they're more cunning. Like in 40k, the orcs are both cunning and brutal. That's their whole thing. They're brutal and cunning. Really, technically, I think in 40k it's supposed to be the orcs are brutal and the grots are cunning, but they kind of put the grots down, so the orcs try and be cunning, and they're not very good at it. In this, it is really literally this is the brutal, this is the cunning. These dudes are cowardly, and they're they're cowardly, and they're weak compared to their orc cousins. But I mean, they're still a 7-foot tall monster. And but they are cruel. There's a reason they're called the cruel boys. It's because they're very sneaky and cunning, and do weird shit. Like you can see this banner made of skin, and that's not green skin. That's definitely probably human skin there. Like that's kind of their whole shtick, is they're just weird little guys. But there is still some classic orc stuff, like this chunky dragon that this guy rides around on, that kind of thing. I think he's like chained to it. I don't know. It's there's some really cool stuff. If you're interested in any of these at any point, go check out the web store. You can like look through models that way. It's very fun to just go look at stuff. Sons of Behemoth, I think might be the last one on the list. Yes, basically just giants. And this is basically if you want to play the game, but you don't want to buy a bunch of models, you want to buy like 1 or 2 models. These are really big models, and you can buy them and then play them. You would, if you fielded an army of Sons of Behemoth, it'd probably be like 2 Gargants for like a full-sized AoS army. Like 2 Gargants and a couple of the smaller ones. And like their spearhead is 3 small guys. Hold on. Let me look. Yeah, the Sons of Behemoth spearhead is literally 3 of the small giants. Essentially, if you're in 40k terms, it's 3 war dogs, right? That's what's going on here. It's super neat. Anyway, that's everything. There's more to the lore, but I'm still learning. And I kind of want to play Nightreign, so we're gonna move on from what we were doing. We're gonna do a little swap. And actually, we're gonna take a very small break while I set everything up. And then we will be, hold on. Then we'll be good to, oh, no, that's not what I want. Honk. Is that not working anymore? Okay, wait. We're putting the controller on, because we're going to be playing Nightreign. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit while I go on a break and go find that model for my friends, and, yeah, I'll set it up. See you in a second. All right, it took me a second to find that model. It was a whole process. To answer the question, it is the mascot Gargolian from the Free Guild Command Corps. Okay. We're here. Oh, I didn't change any. I didn't change any of the fucking my title or anything. That was part of what I was supposed to be doing. I got distracted by the thing. Nightreign, more like Nightreign. Yeah, got him. Got him. All right, there we go. We swapped. We got two options: Dark Drift Night or Fissure in the Fog. I don't want to do Night Aspect till I finish the other two, which might mean I'm not going to be doing the final boss for a while, but I would like to do all of them first. I was thinking about the money. Hello, sitting in the rubble.
When do we fight?
Now, I was thinking about money saving for a costume. I might stop doing that and just buy the stuff from the store. Because there's going to be more stuff, and eventually, yeah. I'm going to be playing enough, though. I'll have enough to get the costume eventually. But I was thinking about that while I was sitting there. I was like, I should just have the things that I want. We're going to start with the big things, because I might not even spend all that much money. I might finish out my money. We'll see. These things will add up. But I might still have a couple thousand left. Which will be nice. But I want to buy out the store every time I can. Either that means I have to start my collection anew. Look at that. Still have 3,000. Pretty good. Hell yeah. Let's go. Okay. Bop, bop. Damn it. Bop, bop. I always do that. I would like Iron Eye, but I'm not going to fight anyone on it. Returning to title menu. Dark Souls, why do you always do this? Why do you go, oh, connection error, start over. Return to title menu, get back there. Hello? Starting offline mode. Lack of internet connectivity. What? Cancel. What's going on? Are they down? What's happening? Elden Ring servers will undergo maintenance on June 6th. Fuck, that's tomorrow, though. Is that today? To fix matchmaking. Let's see. Elden Ring servers will undergo June 6th, 2025. Maintenance will begin at 1 PDT and last 2 hours across all platforms. So 1 a.m. 1 a.m. tomorrow. I have internet. I'm streaming. What do you mean, no internet? You're no internet. Idiot. Stupid. Stupid idiot. It's loaded. It's trying. I don't know. It's trying. Ooh, it's trying. Jesus. Oh, yeah. How is it struggling so much? Connection? I connect. That was weird. I don't know why that didn't work. Hopefully all my stuff's saved. I'm gonna go buy things again. It won't be the end of the world, but... Earth is shifted. Rotting was. I don't have to buy anything. Okay, cool. I'd like to do these two, please. Put me in, coach. I should be doing the remembrances at the same time, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to do the remembrances after I do everything, because then I can, like, I don't know, work on them. Iron Eye? No, no, he wants to do Iron Eye. I don't have to do Iron Eye. I mean, we can do 2 Iron Eyes, but that's, you know, unnecessary. Fuck it, I'm gonna do Wilder. We're gonna do Wilder. He's a good generic one when I don't know what I want to do. I've already skipped it. Ooh, this person's got that skin. Oh, they both have skins. Oh, fuck, I'm playing with some big boys now. I think that person has the I defeated the final boss Dark Souls skin. Which would be fun to have. Let's see. Yeah, they look like a what's it called, lady? Knight of the Black Knives. Black Knife Assassin, that's what it's called. Oh, we going there? Okay. Fucking powerful. Wow, that looks cool though. I dig the skin, brother. Ooh, a little bit of lag. Woo. Ow. Oh, don't fucking go down to the fucking... I can't embarrass myself in front of these boys. They know what they're doing. You can tell by their skins. Dude, if a dog eats me, I will implode. Okay. I'm getting distracted. I used all my fucking flasks. I'm going down. Going down in the pit. Where's the pit? There's the pit. Huh. Hello, sorry I'm late. Oh, this one for sure. Guaranteed. God, I had a fucking weird cough today. Okay. Up. Where are we going? Okay. On it. Who are we up against? Centaur. Okay. Ouch. Run away. I needed that grace. I didn't stop long enough for the grace. That was stupid of me. Not leveled up at all. Going in the back. You come here. I'm gonna be doing things. Ah! Ah! Ooh, my passive just kicked in. Huh. I'm coming, brother. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I did not make it. Can I? Shit. It just died twice? That's not good. I'm getting him down. They're coming down here, brother. Ow. You figured it out. Back in the fire you go. Idiot. Idiot. Get got, dumbass. Kill him with the hook. Raises physical effect. Attack. Oh, I guess I killed the last one up here. Okay, I need that grace. It's over there. I need to level up real badly. So I want to use the sword. The sword, Danny. Okay, there we go. Here, sword acquired. So much more damage right off the bat. Ow. Where we going, boys? Where we dropping? We already dropped. Where are we going? Oh, they're running this way. Got it. Oh, we're going to this man, this lad. Honestly, I don't disagree. We can plan, especially with the juice coming in. Oh, it's down there. Yup. Fuck. It was a deeper jump than I thought it was going to be. I mean, fall damage isn't a thing, but... Grab this. And up we go. Ow. Ow. Oh, I shouldn't be alive. Does he do holy damage? It might be good to have. I think he does holy damage. I'm gonna hold on to that. The animation, we don't have time for this. The rain, she's a-coming. Okay. I guess we could try that. It'll be like half in the rain, but... Based on which half, might not matter. There we go. Let's step a few feet to the right over here. We'll be in the zone. Okay. What was this? Holy? What's the weakness of the centaur man? I don't remember. Kinda wanna look it up. Yeah, go up there. What the shit? Okay. Let's see. Up we go. Up we go. Just trying to go around. It's weak to lightning damage, okay. So the holy sword isn't that helpful. No, wait, that's not right. No, he is lightning. What's his fucking weakness then? Oh, he is just weak to lightning. Okay, so you like overload his lightning, I guess? Are we trying to kill the Elven Orc ladies here? I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. Did we find them? Yes. That's half. Where's the other one? Where the fuck is she? Oh, there. I'm just grabbing stuff for now and we'll play with it later. To the circle, to the Ever Jail. Ever Jail. More like Never Jail because we always open it. Haha, he. Pop that shit open. Got one. I don't have any good... Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. There we go, we got it. And then this one. Team up on it. Team up on it. Yeah. Power. Oh, I want lightning negation 100%. Or holy. I think he's lightning. Shit's moving. Where are we going, boys? Where did you just mark? What? Oh, that was an accident. I was like, what? Why? Oh. Do we have time for this? Are you guys fighting it? I missed. I thought he was closer. Damn, we are fucking cleaning house. Alright. Bloody slash, or for a stomp. Or negation. I don't want to take any damage. I guess I'm going down. I mean going up. That sucks. Okay. Oh, that's such a big climb. Are we going through this? Are we doing it? No, no, no. We're running there. Okay. I'm going. I'm going, boss. I'm going, coach. Sidley and Nerus. I hear the twinkling of fucking... It's up there on top, isn't it? Yeah. Ah, we have time. Time. Hold on. I could use that. Neither of them are going to use that. If I see something better, I'll trade it out, but... I could technically block with my greatsword. What'd you find? What'd you find? What'd you find? What'd you find? Not for me. Could be some good stuff here, though. Hey, you got a lot of stuff with Iron Eye's Grief on it. What's that about, buddy? Why are you so sad? I wish I had time to level up, but it is what it is. Let's see, 140, 122. Yeah, everything's better when it's just straight affinity and not like, or straight, yeah, regular damage melee. Ah, the rat lag. You know, I have noticed for whatever reason, the rats have been causing drops in frames. I don't know why, but everywhere I see the rats, it's a problem. So it's going to be a worm face. That should be a pretty easy first boss for us. It's hilarious to just take an enemy from someone fighting it. Oh, nope. Gaping Dragon. I lied. I'm just going to stand behind it and hit it back here, where the hole is no longer gaping. What a boy. What a man. Ah, the juice. The sauce. Oh, cut off his tail. That's fun. What are we dropping? Huh. Woo! Ow. It's weird that its tail was severable like that. We got a juice. Stop juicing everywhere. Hell yeah. Easy as breakfast. None of these are helpful. I guess I'm gonna pick up a shield at some point. I keep getting guard counter stuff on this dude, and not on the fucking guardian, which is funky. Where we going? Where we going, fam? Keep dropping that one. I don't need it. Okay. I want your axe. I don't need your axe. I'm going around a weird way. Hey, bud, see you. Imagine you're guarding a one-way tower. Like, you can only get in through the door that you're guarding, and some dude that's not supposed to be there just runs past you from the inside. Like, hey, bud, see you later. Is he still chasing me? Wait, I hear a talisman guy. I don't think it's right now. Alright, fucking let's go. Yo. Do we want to fight a boss? A big old boss? A big scary boss? I think we could. I think it's possible. What kind is this? Oh, it's another one of these. It's so weird that I grabbed them instead of the other way for these. The big knights. Yoink. Last boy at. I missed. I didn't even mean to use that, honestly. What were you tagging up here, Sadali? Crossbow for... what's his name? Change my mind. Tower shield time. Now we're going to lean into the guard counters it wants me to do so bad. Got a good guard boost, too. It's not great. It's no jellyfish shield, but... with all the relics I had and the jellyfish shield or whatever, like, not relics, talismans, I was wrecking shop with that thing. Loretta, huh? Really wants to give that damage negation at low HP. Ooh, I do not have the stamina for that. Okay. Oh. Ow. What's the map look like? Oh, we're inside it. Sick. Fuck, I'm getting my ass beat. Does not bode well for fighting a centaur dude in a second. Guys. Oh! I can't say anything. That's like the guys and immediately fucking got blasted myself. Careful arrows. Careful arrows. Careful SpongeBob. Alright, new plan, new plan, new plan. Come here. Come here, friend. I thought that was going to get them up. It did not get them up fully. So I need to use this more to like reorient myself in the battlefield. Instead of just, you know. Like when I'm playing Wilder, I gotta remember that I can use that to move on the ground too. Oh, should you run all the way to the Grace? That's fucking funny. Bam. Oh, hell yeah. You got idiot. Woo! I was almost got idiot. I was almost the idiot. Okay. Oh. Oh. Fuck, I can't use this. I could use this. Fuck. Yeah. I want the passes for the others more. Did anyone get any other, like, fancy things? No, no one picked the really fancy thing. Why would I get the Carrion Regal Scepter? The fuck am I gonna do with that? The hell am I gonna do with that game? Oh, someone's got a mission over here. Let's fucking do it, dude. Probably easy to do these on your own, but that's okay. Oh no, it's not a mission. It's like a special item to reduce the rot, whatever. Ooh, it sucks in here. Guys, it sucks in here. It's really stinky bad in here. I gotta level up. I don't have any boluses. Yep. I understand. Headed your way. Ow. I'm getting pest threaded. I thought maybe there'd be like a remove Scarlet Rot. Oh, I know where we are. This is the fucking thing. This is the thing. The place. The thing. The inside's different, but... Ooh, that's pretty fucking good. I'm gonna take that. They get that thing. Thank you, dude. Okay, so I have a rot sword now. Let's put that here. And a frostbite sword. Hell yeah. Move it up in the world. Alright, I'm gonna go catch up. Where are we going? What are we doing? Oh, it moved? Okay. Do we need like the information from here? Like where's the thing? Like I can't help but notice that there was less rot over there once we did a thing. Are we clearing it? What's happening here? What's the... Oh, there's a big rot bubble over there. Is that what we're hitting? Are we fighting the thing? What the... Oh wait, we got stuff to do. I'm helping with this. Alright, we know. Power gained. I'm on my way. Nullifies Scarlet Rot and increases max HP. Receive... Attach it for... Oh. Nullifies Scarlet Rot. Okay. What's the plan, boys? Oh, we're actually near where we have to be. Ow. we're gonna be doing this. I'm gonna get rid of that rot buildup. And then we'll swap weapons. Gotta keep being aggressive to get that rot buildup though. That was bleeding. That's not quite what I'm after. Owie. There's rot. Whew. Okay. So she's going down in a second no matter what. Is there more curved sword? Sword of Milos. A bleeding would be nice. Let's swap to this. Swap this out. Is this lightning damage? No, it's sacred. What the fuck? Oh? I gotta look at my weapons. Hold on. I gotta move stuff around. Holy shit. Big boy. Does this count? It says attacks inflict rot. Oh, it does bleeding and rot on the flamberge. That's crazy. Big sword. I can pull you. I don't think I can Scarlet Rot these things, so. Big ability. Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? Me commander? Yeah. The Rot commander specifically. It just keeps working. You're an idiot. I'm not done with you yet. Done and done. Dusted, in fact. That didn't work. Bonk. 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 Yeah, together. As one. I might still swap to the flamberge early on for, like, details. What is this? Charge attacks and cause a wave of gravitational force. Nice. Raises attacks. Evasive maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers strike lightning. That one scares me. I like it, and it would be good against the boss that's weak to lightning. But when I dodge and lightning comes out of me, it feels like I'm being chased by lightning, and it freaks me out. I go, what? And I try and run away from it. Nice. Okay. Can't use that. So yeah, I just have to do one of these to swap to the rot bleed. Not much health I have though. Look at all the fucking, and I have a bunch of improved affinity damage negation, so like lightning damage and stuff. Or wait, instead of this, oh, big brain it. Swap between them. Have both, you know? Look at this spooky pair. Wait, that guy just has a, I think he just has a recolor of the main skin. He doesn't even have the spooky one. He just has the the regular. Interesting. It's like the remembrance one. The one that she's wearing is definitely one you don't get until you beat the final boss, so. I don't know how my HP works. There's something now where I can like get it back. I think I can deal damage to get it back. Fuck me. Damn it, I missed. I'm only standing on it. Guys, you were so good at dodging earlier. What happened? I'll go for a sand blast. Nice. Someone has lightning. I think it's, yeah, it's fucking, it's Iron Eye has lightning. That's hella nice. Ow. Hell yeah. Bonk. Alright, he's Mega Mode. He's Mega Mode. Mega Mode. Ow. Oh god, the game. Enjoy fire on the ground. I want to Scarlet Rot in. But I feel like I'm losing damage if I don't use my fucking big sword the game made. Ah, it's fine. They'll understand. Whoops. Nice break, nice break. Ow. Is my hard tier still going? How long do those last? Do the flash last? Oh, I forgot that the bolus is clearing everything for the whole match. Ow. I feel like the hard tier was a permanent thing, or it's lasting a really long time. Scarlet Rot's kind of pointless at this point. Yikes. Can you get her? Yeah, you got her. I'm busy. Okay, I'm no longer busy. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Woo! I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. Oh my god. Oh my god, I should be dead. I should be dead. Fuck like that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Just shoot me from a distance. Fuck it. Big boom. 3 big booms. Just gonna hit it. Oh, just shoot it once. You got it, you got it, you got it. Why is it low and not dying? What's happening? Does it need to be fucking... Oh no, we're good. Woo, we did it. Got him. I think they get to hear my beloved. Alright. Equipment details. Curious what we all had. Blue feathered branch. Yeah, then Eleanor's pole blade did not fuck around on top of the pedal whip and all that stuff. The arrows were really fucking good. He's got the fire. Who had the lightning? Someone had like lightning coming out of their stuff. And I don't know who. I think it was. I guess it was. The only lightning thing was the Celebrant's lightning skull. Still, that was really fucking helpful. Okay. Creates whirlwind when charging halberd attacks. Oh, I remember seeing something like that. Become difficult to spot and silence footsteps after landing a critical hit. I think I have one of these. And increase maximum stamina. Guard counter is given a boost based on current HP. HP restoration upon thrusting a counter attack. Okay, so that's for Guardian. Who else am I doing guard counters on? Okay, we got one more. I didn't use the little bird's room when we were having our little break, so I'm going to run off and do that real fast, and then we'll queue up for fucking Fissure and the Frog, and we're going to be doing that until we get it. Okay. I am back. I am back. Let us go and fight the weird little dragon thing. I'm definitely hoping I can get Iron Eye on this. We'll see, though. We will see. Because Iron Eye, that's the reason he has fire on his fucking bow. It's fucking awesome. Ooh. 3 little squishy boys. It'll be fine. Do what you want, brother. Do what you want. Revenant, huh? Alright. Skip. I'm the fastest skip in the West now. Hello? A tag? Oh, I was the only one. The only one who skipped it. Alright. Fire good. Agree? Agreed. Let's go, fire good. What are you gonna do with that grace, friend? Are we fighting? Here, brother. Get a little closer so I can slice you and cut you. Alright, we're going to want frost resistance for sure. So if we see the frost affinity resistance, we're going to want it. Assuming there's not a better like weapon or something. Pardon me. Jesus. Okay. Well. Alright. I guess I'll take that. For now. Alright, fine. We'll go upgrade the flask. I do already have fire in the bow, so it's not the end of the world. No matter what, if I keep my regular bow and I just sort of upgrade it, we can get in a cave or something. I can get fire on it. I can have a decent bow with fire on it, no problem. I just won't have a passive. I'm hoping I can get something better, but it's not always an option. Yeah. I'm coming. Hold your horses. Do we get a fucking stone sword key? No. They're going to the... Where are you guys going? Where the fuck are we going? Oh, okay, yes. Agreed. We want better fire weapons. What we need to be doing more fighting. We're doing a lot of running around. Well, the fire stuff is good to get. We probably should have worked our way to it a little bit more. Don't be fighting that normally, please. She's trying to get behind it. She doing the thing? Yeah, she's doing the thing. Ow. I'm going to the other one. Wherever it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Go help save. Come on, big dog, you got it. Also, watch out for the explosions. Oh, fuck. Speaking of... Watch. Hold on, I need a fucking marker that. Oh, perfect. That's what we wanted. Run! Look! I need grace. Fuck. Yup. I know there was one here. I didn't want to deal with the explosive dudes. It's even more fiery. Did we get one? Oh no, we're going up. Okay. Every time they walk near one of the Everjails, I'm like, Stone Sword Key? Ooh, in the cave? Fuck yeah, in the cave. Let's go. Get that upgrade. Ooh, this is a weird one. This is a weird one. Is that it? Is that the guy we have to fight? I think that's it, isn't it? Whoa. Owie. There we go. He has the thing. Yes, he has the thing. Okay, cool. The thing's down. There. Where'd everyone else go? You wanna go this way. Up? Wait, this is not the way I want to go. Oh, fuck, the rain's coming. See it in the tunnel. Oh, fuck, the rain's double coming. Oh, shit. I gotta go out the way I came. Nothing for it. Just gotta go. And then run. I don't know if I'm gonna make this. I don't know if I'm gonna make this. Okay. There's a grace coming up over here. Okay, no, that's the spirit bringing us down there. I can still... Oh, my health. Ooh, that was close. I could still use this grace to refill. Come on. There we go. I lived. Guys, stop going back in there for your stuff, man. Every time you do it, you're losing more stuff. It's not worth it. You're dying. You're dying out there. So they're stuck together. Can you ever tell, like, just from like what people are doing, that you're probably fucked in terms of the actual boss fight? They're gonna make weird decisions in that fight too. I don't know. Sometimes you can just tell. We'll see. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. We own this Begotten? That's fun to do. You got idiot. Where's his fucking... Where's his thing? Oh, there it is. I was like, what the fuck? Where's the... Oh, definitely this. Although resistance to all elements, the frostbite resistance would be good, but... Getting ranged attack buff, like just 10% more range damage? Fucking take that. Again, we take the resistances if there's nothing else we can... Or there's nothing that we... be more useful to us. We're going? What's happening? From range. I think if I hit him in the head, it does more damage. We'll try and do that more. Yeah. Aiming the ult is the way to go. Oh my god. Get me, I'm on the other side of this wall. Idiot. Stupid idiot. How you gonna get me over there? We're lucky that wall doesn't crumble. I'll take max HP up. Where's the grace around here? Alright. Now what, boys? Bust us? Roof guarding ability. Okay, no. No, thank you. Oh, rain's moving. Yeah, we could maybe do that. It's a possibility. Yeah. Well, it's possible. It's just Albinorix, right? So... with sleep, I think it's Albinorix. Or it could be Heroes, it could be Zamor. Another ice, but... Could be. It's definitely one of those. Watch, it's going to be something entirely different. Like Banished Knights or something. Oh, it's sorcerers. Okay. I was doubly wrong. Looking for the big boys. Big boys with the hammers. Oh, no, it's bear. Even worse / better? Which one's the right rune bear, though? It doesn't have a health bar. Is this just generic rune bear? There's items on the ground over there. I want to go look at them. What do you got? What is Iron Eye's grief? Hold on, what is this? Details. Enhances maximum stamina dexterity. Weird, okay. Whew. We don't have time for this rune bear, boys. The rain is here. Yeah, it's time to roll. I'm going up. It might be faster, it might not. Yeah, it feels faster. Okay, what was Iron Eye's grief? I got a bunch of those. Improve ranged weapons attacks. Add lightning to weapon. Improve. Okay. Details. The Iron Eye's grief enhances maximum stamina and dexterity. Oh, nice. Banished Knights, huh? I think it's gonna be, what's his face? O'Neill. O'Neill. Oh, interesting. I haven't seen a Godfrey yet. Or a Godefroy. He's gonna put his fucking... The question is he gonna put his dragon on after the fight? Oh, the music. The music is back. The fucking Godfrey noises. Ow. Been a while since Godfrey. Yup. Oh, the big slice, and then third. Okay, I knew it was coming, and I was pressing B, and I guess that was not enough. Why would I dodge when I press dodge? I don't know. Uh-oh, we cannot die to Godfrey. I swear to God, guys. Same, what about your ult? Oh my god. I can't believe we died to Godfrey. I had so much good shit. I had so much good shit, guys. Guys, that was embarrassing. You've embarrassed me in front of... Well, no one, but you've embarrassed me in front of Twitch. Totally wasn't partly my fault. Alright, well, I guess we go again. We know what we need. Fire. We have it. Let's go. Ooh, actually, can I bring a specific loadout for this shit? Hold on. Thinking it through. Stamina recovers. I don't think this counts, but starting armament gives fire damage, which has been really helpful. Let's see. Increase maximum stamina, guard counter, glint blade, iron eye, art charge activation adds poison effect. I actually did want to put this on, so I know it's not fire, but we're getting there. Extends duration of weak point. I did want that too. Let's see if there's any others that we want. Fire attack power up, but that's for recluse. Treasure marked upon map. Weird. Draws any attention while guarding. Flask also heals allies. Physical attack up. Starting armament inflicts poison. Maximum FP. Poison and rot of a city increases attack power. I kind of want to put this on. I know I said fire, and now I'm going directly into poison mode. But, I like this idea. Okay, green, another green. Do we have one that gives a fire? Okay, we have this. We can't have this because there's both fire and poison. So let's swap to, art charge. We already have that on. I was like, we can add more poison, even more poison. Starlight Shards, attack power with resistance of hammers, predict blood loss, guard counter is given a boost. Dexterity is good. Is there like a reduced lightning damage negation up? I want a frostbite negation up. Fire damage negation up. That's not what I want. Poise, attack power. Oh, having more arcane would probably be good for the poison, honestly. Let's do that. Let's give ourselves more. This is our little poison build, and then we'll have a and then we'll have a different build. Let's say a fire build. Let's see if we can get that going. Do I have any? Huge rune shop, cross legs thing. Okay. Oh right, you can get this stuff for people specifically. Yeah, that's right. If you're doing the Remembrance, I really should do Iron Eyes Remembrance and see what I get, because there could be some really good stuff in there. I know I said I was going to wait to do those, but I might do Iron Eyes at least. Nah, we're just going to go to the poison eye. We're green. We gotta be poisoning people. Alright, hold on. Let's go do a Remembrance. Let's do Iron Eyes Remembrance, because I haven't done any of it yet. And then we have to go check the Remembrance to see what we're supposed to do. Probably talk to the Iron Menial, but I want to double check. Let's do. Talk to the Priestess about the task. See, this is why I check. I would have talked to the Iron Menial, nothing would have happened. Priestess? Where are you, Priestess? Hello? Priestess? Is she in here? Is she down there? Oh wait, I gotta make sure I save the results history. Add a favorites, add a favorite. That's a streak. I got a streak going. Win streak too. And I lost immediately, but you know, had a win streak. Oh, there she is.
Oh, now, about the traitor from your fellowship. Let us talk. Then you're good and... The fellowship. That's the name of the mercenary outfit you belong to, is it not?
Yes,
you
it
travel
is.
around the world, settling conflicts through clandestine acts.
What? We do what?
Masters of assassination.
Maybe me?
As unsettling as your talents might seem to an outsider, in service to our cause, they are reassuring indeed.
Okay.
Then you're good and... The fellowship.
Yeah, okay. I thought I use Dark Souls. You gotta say multiple things.
Then you're good. The traitor you're after. It seems I too am involved in all of this.
What? How?
One of those summoned to the round table is said to have abandoned their duties.
What?
So the voice has intimated. I was thinking of telling the others, as if you had appeared to help me pursue the matter. The traitors of the round table and the fellowship appear to be one and the same.
Wouldn't I know who they are?
Then you're good.
Now what?
I need you to eliminate a band of condemned. These condemned valiantly faced down the night, but ultimately failed and surrendered to the darkness. They are, in fact, us. Worse still, they multiply through their marriage to the night, spreading from one world to the next.
I see.
You must stop them, but... as you may have surmised, versions of you from other worlds are found, and we might just learn best of luck.
Okay. I gotta kill those boys. I gotta kill us. I gotta kill me. We'll do a regular run, though, and see if we can get it. If we can't, then we'll do a solo run. Yeah. Actually, I'm probably gonna... Sorry, my brain just processed fucking all the fucking hunger and and the tired and all that, like, all at the same time. I was just like, oh! Yeah. So I think I'm gonna fucking go take a real break, a big break, go eat food, set the game down for a little bit, and come back and play on my own. And just do this shit. But, because I do want to keep playing, but I am done streaming, I think, for today. 2 small streams in a row. So tomorrow, I can't stream. Thursday is tomorrow. No, today is Thursday. Friday is tomorrow. I can't stream. So yeah, tomorrow I can't stream. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday I can't stream. I'm busy those days. Monday I can't stream. So Friday and Monday I'm working. Saturday, Sunday I'm volunteering for a thing, and those are all day things. So technically I could stream on Monday and Friday if I'm awake enough when I get home at like 9 p.m. Not usually. So yeah, especially when I have to get up at 6 a.m. for the volunteering thing. So basically, I'm locked out from Friday to Monday. I can't stream for the next for the foreseeable future. Friday to Monday is locked out, and then so my next day I'm gonna be streaming probably is either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how I'm feeling when I get to those days. But yeah, I will catch you guys later then. Oh wait, I need to turn on the end thing. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the lurks. Thanks for the hanging out. Sorry to just evaporate out of stream like this. I just was like, oh yeah, we'll do this thing and then we'll do this thing, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do those things. I want to eat breakfast. I want to eat breakfast and that kind of stuff. Anyway, you too, Goop. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your day at work. Yeah, I'm gonna go vibe. But you guys have a good rest of your day. Yeah. Anyway, see ya. Goodbye. So you can tell my brain is shut down because I'm like sitting there in silence. Anything else? I don't know what it'll be when I stream next week. Something. Will definitely be something. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.